Hi guys, welcome back to Jurassic Collectibles. I've got my tea and we're ready for another review. So today we're going to continue our look at the CollectA dinosaur figure line by looking at this guy. It's a Daspletosaurus. Now, we've been looking at a lot of CollectA dinosaurs recently on the channel. They very kindly sent over a big parcel full of their different dinosaur figures. And with CollectA, they seem to put dinosaurs in very interesting situations, poses, and sort of consuming of different prey. Now with the Daspletosaurus here, he's actually sat down, and it's not very often that you see a predator like Daspletosaurus sat down. If you didn't know already, the Daspletosaurus is a tyrannosaurid, so actually he's related to the Tyrannosaurus Rex, and he was a smaller tyrannosaurid. He was about 8-9 meters long, but still quite big, and he would have coexisted with the famous Gorgosaurus. And it's one of the few examples of a tyrannosaurid that would have coexisted with another super predator. Okay, so let's get this guy out of the packaging. I'm very excited about having a closer look at this one because I'm a big fan of tyrannosaurids, and I'm sure you are too. So here is the Daspletosaurus out of the packaging, and I'll just focus quickly, and you can see the tyrannosaurid. Very, very nice. Looking very colourful. Straight away, the first thing that hits me is the colour scheme. It's got this very, very bright, striking colour scheme. Almost like war paint on the head there. A very brave and bold colour scheme. And a lovely little sculpt. Seeing this Tyrannosaurid sat down is very striking indeed. So there we go. It's made of this rubbery material. You can see that the tail is flexible, and when I move the arms they're a little bit bendy. But yeah, this looks fantastic. Okay, let's get a closer look. Starting off with the head sculpt, the first thing that hits me is how small this head is. This is actually a very small figurine. You can see the size of my fingers there. So you have to forgive them a little bit for things like this eye, for example, which to me is quite simple in terms of its paint scheme. But I love the colour arrangement here, and I love the war paint look. It does remind me of, I think it's a South American mammal that has a similar coloration on its head, but I might be wrong. Let me know your thoughts down below if you recognise this sort of colour arrangement. It looks like it's based on a mammal, but I'm not sure. And then as we transition down into the neck, you can see we've got a lovely mixture of different greens there. We've got a nice sculpted interior of the mouth. You can see there they've used a glossy red paint to give it that wet look, and you can see the teeth have been carefully sculpted and painted. Probably better on this side than this side. I think on this side they do look more defined, but still very nice indeed. Again, I'm not too keen on the eye on this one. Looks very simplified, but for the size, for the scale that you're getting, this is a cracking little figure. And then as we transition into the neck, you can see there's some nice definition of the musculature. And there's a wonderful range of different colours here. You've got, the sandy underside, you've got these greens, you've got polka dot dark green there, you've got a maroon that's running along the back here, and that's actually consistent all the way along the back. So we've got some really nice mixtures of colours thrown in. It's really cool. As we go down to the body, you can see there's some lovely creases around the arm on both sides. Very nice. And as I said, this is made from a rubbery material, so you can see it's very flexible, but it gives this skin this sort of realistic feeling, which I really like. Reminds me of the Jurassic Park toys. And you can see the claws, despite these being absolutely minuscule, have been painted individually with a glossy brown to give them that sort of wet, sort of claw-like look that you'd get with reptiles. Not so much wet, but more, just like a sheen, a gloss on those claws. And then as we transition into the body, you can see the polka dots have been carried on all over the chest here. And then as we move into the legs, you can see there's a really nice feeling of compression in this leg. You get the feeling that this middle portion of the leg is swelling up with all the flesh as it's squeezed together. So I really like that sort of pillowed look of the leg. It's really cool. Even in the claws, it does feel like the flesh has been displaced down the claws, and they're quite chubby as a result of it sitting down, which feels very natural. And you can see the individual toe claws have been painted with that same glossy brown. Really nice sort of crocodilian scaling going underneath, and you can see the CollectA logo. And I like this mixture of tiger stripes here, that we've got these sort of, these semicircular stripes going here, and also carrying on down the tail. It's a nice contrast with the sort of polka dot green that we've got up here. As you can see, the maroon is carrying on all the way down the spine, and you've got these nice little spikes running all the way along the back there. Very nice. It's a very decorative looking dinosaur, and I really like that. I like this contrast of the sandy colour here with the rest of these greens, very nice. And there's just a nice little delicate flick at the end, which reminds me of like a cat when it sits down. On the opposite side, we've got the same sort of paint scheme mirrored. You can see the stripes and the polka dots. And a little bit more creasing on this arm, but I do like these bulges around the arm, feels very natural. So as I said, the Daspletosaurus is a very small yet highly detailed figure from CollectA, and we're just going to take some measurements. So I've got the tape measure here, oh excuse me, and this one is about 6 inches long, which is about 15-16 centimeters. And in terms of height, we're looking at about 2.5 inches, which is about 6.5 centimeters. And let's bring in the Stegosaurus corpse, which has been reviewed and is also made by CollectA. A wonderful figurine, and a very striking situation to put a Stegosaurus in. You don't usually see dinosaur figures like that. I'll put a link to the video on this one down below. You can see there how big the Stegosaurus corpse is next to the Daspletosaurus. And actually, I really like these put together because it tells a story. That's what I like about this. We got the Stegosaurus, we got the Daspletosaurus, which has just had a meal and fed, and now it's having a rest because it's tired, it's eaten, and now it's kind of feeling groggy and sleepy because of all the meat inside of it, and now it's just having a little rest. I really like this. Look at that. That is beautiful. That is dinosaur figurines telling a story. I think that's fantastic. And secondly, let's bring in the Balti Rex. You can just see his feet there. We are giving away this big guy. He's from the 1997 Kenner Lost World line. We are giving him away on the main page right now, so if you haven't entered already, make sure you do. Entry is free and simple. But you can see the Daspletosaurus is dwarfed by this giant figure. So there we have it, guys. That was today's look at the Daspletosaurus from CollectA. I think this is a wonderful addition to your collection. I think the fact that it's sat down just makes it a really nice conversation piece. It's not often that you see a dinosaur figure in this sort of pose. And when combined with the Stegosaurus corpse, I think it tells a really good story. Okay guys, will you be picking this one up? Do you own him already? Let me know in the comments down below. And as always, rate and subscribe. Okay guys, see you in the next video.